Hello everyone and welcome to day 7 of the 12 Days of Pilates Challenge. Today we are focusing on stability and balance, which is not the sexiest sounding thing. We like to focus on the glutes and the abs and flexibility and all that kind of stuff, but balance is super important, especially as we age. We want to protect ourselves so that we don't fall, we can get up and off of the ground with ease. Having that balance also means that we have a strong core. So we will be using the ball in some exercises. If you don't have a ball, don't worry. You can still do the routine. You can just do the exercise as if there weren't a ball. It's all totally fine. The ball just adds a nice little stability challenge because it is small, it is wobbly, so you really have to engage the core. So let's go ahead and get into it. We are going to start in the standing position. We're just gonna have our arms up in a goalpost shape here. We're just going to begin by lifting that right knee up and placing it down. So we're just focusing on syncing the breath, starting to engage our balance. And if at any point you need to use a fingertip to hold on to something, a broomstick, whatever you need. Let's hold it. We're gonna do some little circles. Letting our feet kind of graze the floor. It's also handy, I should have mentioned, to do this not on the mat. Sometimes the mat can make this a bit more difficult. Last one. Let's switch. My arms are getting tired. So again, syncing our breath. Balance takes a lot of focus and concentration. We want to connect to that core and use our breath to help us. Let's do some circles. One. My body about quit before I was ready. Now we're going to do some heel raises. So I'm going to come up here because I feel a little claustrophobic back there. Again, if you need to use a fingertip, broomstick, whatever you need, please do so. We're just going to start. Let's just start standing on one foot, kind of get ourselves nice and balanced. Pick a spot to look at. We're just going to do our heel raises. You want it to be nice and fluid. It's all right if there's some sounds. Just want to make sure that we're not using momentum. Let's switch. Almost went over my toe there. Last one. This is the great thing about balance. If you break that concentration, it can be game over. This is really good to help cultivate presence. So we're gonna stand up straight. I like to place my hands on my hip here. We're gonna put one foot out to the side and it's gonna be externally rotated. So our foot, the top of our foot, is kind of at an angle here. We're just gonna do some lifts. staying lifted in this hip. We'll make sure that we're not bending at our spine. Now let's hold it at the top. Let's do little tiny pulses halfway down. Really engaging the core. All right, let's switch to the other side. Rotate that foot. Lift and lower. Hold it, little pulses halfway down. Three, two, one. All right, we're going to have a nice little hinge here. Gonna have our hands in this prayer position. I'm gonna drag one foot back. We're just gonna start by doing some lifts. So I want you to really focus on a tiny lift. That lower back is staying quiet. And we're focusing on lifting in that smile area, right where your cheek meets your thigh. So think about lifting from that area. Let's hold it at the top. Let's bring our knee in and come back out. Trying not to touch the floor. Last one. Switch. Find your balance here. Have that foot behind you and lift at that smile area. Hold it, bring the knee in. You don't have to bring the knee in super far. I'm trying to keep that back quiet. Last one. And go ahead and release. That's it for the standing. So we're gonna come down onto the mat. And if you can try, we're gonna have our arms out. We wanna keep our back straight. You can let your heels lift. We're just gonna lower ourselves and come onto the mat without using our hands to help. We're going to come on our side. So we're gonna be on our forearm here. We are going to be lifted up in this kind of side plank position on our knee. Float this top leg and arm up. Make sure our neck is nice and in line. We're gonna round that elbow, have a nice soft elbow. And we're going to rotate, taking our gaze with us as that leg reaches back oppositionally. And taking our gaze with us, we go in the opposite direction. Now let's hold here at the top. Let's tap that leg down. Hold, 3, 2, 1, and release. All right, coming into our quadruped. I'm gonna have my ball handy because we will be using that shortly. Get ourselves into our nice quadruped, really feeling the length out the crown of our head. Take a nice deep breath here. Let's get settled into this orientation. We're just gonna start by dragging that left leg back and tapping the left arm out front. We can tuck our toes underneath of us for some more added support here. We're just gonna lift and lower. Hold, really reach, feel the length coming out the crown of your head. Let's switch sides here, so we're gonna be up on that toe, drag that right leg back, extend that right arm, raise and lower. If you're like me, one side is probably easier than the other. Let's hold. Let's find that length. And release. Let's go ahead and grab our ball here. We're gonna have the ball underneath that left knee. Come back into that quadruped position. Our toes are still tucked. We're just going to start by lifting the opposite leg. Again, thinking about that smile area. That's where the lift is coming from. When you feel like you have your stability here, go ahead and add in that opposite arm combo. Hold, reach, return. Nose is so running today. All right, come up on that ball, tuck those toes under. Let's just start with the leg lift. Let's add the arm. And hold it, find your length, and relax. All right, I'm gonna come onto our forearm here, extend this back leg out. We're gonna lift that leg, really ground yourself with this bottom hand. We're gonna rotate and open our chest. Really open those hips. You can rotate that leg so that the top of your foot is facing forward. Let's come onto the other side. Lift that leg up. Taking your gaze with you. It's crazy how much easier it is for me on this side. And return. We're gonna go ahead and do our side lying stretch on the opposite side. So we'll be nice and lifted here on our forearm. Lift ourselves up in this modified kind of side plank position. Float that leg and arm up. We're gonna have a soft elbow. We're gonna rotate as we extend that back leg. We're gonna take our gaze with us as we open and rotate back. Last one. Let's hold here. We're just gonna do little taps. 3, 2, 1, and relax. My hair is falling out of my ponytail. Just got a haircut before this. Shout out to Emma. Great job. I'm getting sweaty already. So we're gonna have the ball again for this next exercise. Again, if you don't have the ball, you can do this same motion, just up on your forearms like this. We're gonna place it underneath our sacrum here. Have your arms down at your side, float your legs up into tabletop. We're just gonna take a second to ground ourselves in yet a new orientation. And when you feel ready, you can start to alternate legs, tapping the toes down to the mat. You can hold it here at the top and bring our arms up and add these for some extra stability challenges. Just make sure that that ball is nice and steady underneath of us. So we're gonna do opposite arm with opposite leg. Last one. All right, go ahead and drop your feet. Remove the ball. Grab just underneath your knees. I'm gonna come to a seated position here. Some astronauts. So we're gonna sit up nice and tall. Then I want you to curl backwards until your arms are straight. We're gonna hold it here. We're gonna have some nice curved arms as if we're really holding a beach ball. And we're going to twist, taking our gaze with us. Our gaze is right in between our hands. We're gonna lift our knee to tap our arm. Rotate, lift the knee to tap the arm. Stay lifted in your chest. Taking the gaze with us. One more each side. We're going to come back to the center, raise one arm, raise the other. Three, two, one. And relax. Grab the ball again. We're going to place it between our shoulder blades here. We're going to have our hands interlaced behind our head, a very light touch. Our elbows are in our peripheral. We're going to float those legs back into tabletop. We're going to have this kind of diamond shape. I don't know if you guys can see kind of where I have this little, diamond bend. We're just going to extend one leg, extend the other. It's all right if you have a little bit of a bend. We did something similar to this yesterday. Three, two, one. Let's hold it here. We're going to flex out through our heels. We're going to push, push, open the knees. Push, push, open the knees. Push, push, open the knees. Last one. All right, go ahead and remove the ball, or it can just go rolling away. We are almost done. We're gonna just do some nice little stretches here. So we're gonna be up on our knees. We're gonna do something similar to the mermaid, but Up on our knees, we're gonna have one leg extended to the side. We're going to lean over, place one hand on the mat, and have a nice little stretch here. I want you to imagine that someone is pushing your hips in the opposite way that we're stretching this rib here. We're going to sit back, we're going to come forward. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. Back, come on down. And let's come into a child's pose. Nice deep breath. All right, and that does it. That concludes day 7's stability and balance video. So great job. I think tomorrow is either resistance bands or magic circle. Again, if you don't have equipment at home, you can still do whatever moves we're doing just without the equipment. So don't worry, if you don't have the props, you can still participate. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. And as always, I look forward to being with you tomorrow for day 8.